I'm like kind of nervous for this. I shouldn't be, but I kind of am. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, and today I'm actually going to be reading and reacting to your guys' assumptions about me. Now, this was a trend a while ago that recently did a comeback. A while ago when it was originally a trend, I did the what your assumptions are on the Disney College Program or the DCP or the Cultural Exchange Program, whatever. I did that, so I will link that video below if you want mainly a Disney assumptions video. Go check that out because I definitely spilled some DCP tea in there. But today we are reacting to what your guys' assumptions are about me. I was high-key very nervous to do this. I was not sure how this was going to play out. I was not sure how people were going to react. You never want to hear bad things about yourself, obviously, so I wasn't quite sure how this is going to go, but I don't think it's too bad. I read over some of the questions. A lot of them repeat themselves, which is kind of interesting, and I wasn't really expecting that, but you guys had quite a few assumptions about me, so we are going to get right on into it. Okay, so first, right off the bat, you're a night owl. Not at all. I am definitely a person who likes to get up early in the morning. I'm definitely a person who rises with the sun in the summer especially. I love to get up around 7, 8 o'clock if possible. Recently I've been getting up closer to 9 since we've been in quarantine, and that has changed, but ideally if I could get up at like 7 a.m. every day, I would enjoy that. I get so much more work done in the morning when I find I've had a fresh start to the day. As soon as like dinner time hits, zero productivity after dinner. Like, I am not productive at all. If I wake up at like 11 o'clock or something, which is very rare and has literally been rare my whole life, I won't get anything done that day. I will just call that day as an L and move on. I am definitely more of a morning person. You're an introvert. Yeah, I would definitely say that's true. I mean, all through growing up, I was 100% an introvert. I didn't have that many friends. I wasn't outgoing. I never said like a word in class. I never raised my hand. Like, I was definitely that quiet person. I sat outside the library at lunch the first couple years of high school with my friends. Like, I was definitely more of an introverted person. Since I'd say probably around grade 12 and into college, I've definitely become more outgoing, but I'm still a person who likes to recharge on my own. If I am around a large group of people for a long time, I will need to take a little time on my own by myself without anyone else around just to kind of recharge. Some people recharge when they're in groups of people, some people recharge when they are alone. I'm definitely a person who recharges when I am alone. You're only in college because you feel like you have to be. Kind of, yeah. I mean, there is definitely water running upstairs. I'm sorry if you can hear it. It'll probably shut off soon. My college program, and I think it's pretty well known, I do not like my college program. I love education, I love learning things, I love learning new skills and learning new things, and I love lecture style atmospheres. That is not what I am currently in college. At this point, I'm just there to get a degree and get out. I feel like I have to be because I've been in there 4 years already. There's no changing programs now. I'd have to start over, which is a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of everything. So yeah, I feel like I kind of have to be in the program I'm in right now. The concept of college and education, I definitely want an education. I definitely respect the concept of education, college, university. I would have never not gone to college or university, but could I go back and choose a different direction, even if it's still graphic design, just a different school or a different program, I definitely would have. You really only listen to pop music and Disney. Yeah, I mean, I listen to Disney music loops all the time, especially when I'm studying. I listen to mainly pop music, mainly Taylor Swift, and then also country music would be the only thing added on to that. Your favorite ride at Disney is the Winnie the Pooh ride. Yes. Well, my favorite ride in Magic Kingdom. My favorite ride at Disney at this point is probably Runaway Railway. You're a feminist. That's interesting. I do not consider myself like a typical feminist. Like, I've never been to any of like the rallies, or I don't like necessarily make my voice about feminism known as much. However, I'm definitely obviously for like no pink tax, equal wages, like all that kind of stuff. It is definitely something I have noticed within the industry that I'm in, and also on social media and just in the news, and that is something that has slowly become more and more present in my mind. It was definitely something that I never really even thought about 2-3 years ago, but recently over the last couple of years, feminism is something that has really begun to stick out in my mind, and I'd say every day I am becoming a bit more of a feminist. So I guess, yeah, you could say I'm a feminist because I support a lot of what feminists support, but I wouldn't consider myself like a stereotypical feminist. You can be super crafty and artsy. I'd like to say yeah. I mean, I love doing arts and crafts and stuff. I've always loved drawing and creating things. As a kid, I'm in graphic design. Like, I mean, I can't really deny that. You're planning to live with your parents for a while. Yes, hi, I'm broke and I have student loans. I currently live with my parents, and I graduate in August. I have to do a work term, and then after that I'm done, but my plan is to still be living here for at least until next September, possibly a little bit after that. I do want to save money so I can go out on my own and get my own apartment. I don't think there's really a point in me going out to spend money on an apartment that has like 4 other bedrooms or something in it when I live in a pretty good situation here. That being said, I won't be rent-free here once my schooling is done. However, living here is much, much, much cheaper than getting my own place. So until we get those student loans figured out and my life a little bit more on track, yeah, we're staying put. You've had bad experiences with other YouTubers. Ooh. Yeah. Let's talk Disney YouTubers. Have I met any other YouTubers? Oh, there's one story, but I'm not gonna tell it. There's a really big YouTuber. I can't tell the story. I can tell you guys a different story, but I can't tell. There's a really big YouTuber I had quite an experience with, but we're not going to tell that story. But we are going to tell a story of a smaller YouTuber, obviously whom I'm not going to name. But when I went down to Florida last year, I was constantly texting a YouTuber. Literally, we had talked nothing about even collabing. It was just like, let's go hang out in Magic Kingdom, let's get ice cream, let's do whatever when I get down to Florida, when I move down there, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I actually get down to Florida and I had plans to hang out with this person. Like, we had literally picked like a day. We hadn't picked a time, but we picked a day, and I was like, on that morning, I was like, what time do you want to meet? Like, where exactly do you want to meet? R-bombed. I messaged them a couple more times. R-bombed. Like, I've messaged them a couple times since. This person just stopped responding to me. I don't know what I did. I would love to know if I did something or offended them in some way. I have no idea, but it seems the second I got down to Florida, suddenly they had no interest in talking to me anymore. So yeah, that's my story on that. I assume that you get a lot of shit because you stand up for yourself and know what you want. Yes. I feel like this almost goes back to the feminism one a little bit in some ways. Oh, what's that quote from Taylor Swift where it's like,
a man is allowed to react, a woman can only overreact.
You prefer having a few quality friends versus a bunch of meh friends. 100%. I like to keep my friend group small, and I feel like that's because I have been through some stuff in the past that I definitely have trust issues. Like 100%. I don't trust a lot of people anymore, and because of that I like to keep my circle small because I know who I can trust for the most part, and every time someone like slips up with that, it just makes me want to keep my circle smaller and kind of puts up even more walls. So like, it's come to a point where I used to be this really, really open person with friends to a point now where, especially with some people in high school who I was really good friends with in like grade 11-ish, but because I don't talk to any of them anymore and stuff happened, I've definitely closed myself off a lot and tried to keep my friend group smaller to a few people I can trust. And honestly, knowing that I can trust those people means so much more to me than having people who I can kind of sort of maybe trust. That's interesting. You have OCD, just getting that vibe. I've never been tested, but I don't think I officially do. I definitely am a person who likes routine and likes things orderly, for sure. I find I cannot really sit down and focus on anything if my room isn't clean or I don't have a free, available, nice looking workspace to be able to do that in. I don't know if that's considered OCD. I don't know a lot about OCD, to be completely honest. I've never been tested for it, and I'm not going to self-diagnose myself or anyone else. I assume you own a lot of makeup. I used to. I don't anymore. I mean, this is all full of makeup, but I have cleared out my collection quite a bit from what it used to be. I used to be a huge collector. Since about 2 years or so ago, I've stopped collecting and just kind of started using up what I have. In the last year, I think maybe I've spent $100 on makeup, like total. I only buy what I need being if I run out of foundation, concealer, mascara, something like that. I rarely buy like palettes or anything anymore. There's a part of you that regrets doing your last CEP. No. However, there is a part of me that regrets some of my actions on my last CEP. Looking back, I would not have changed that summer for the world. I had the absolute best time. It was great. Was it as good as my first summer? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. However, there are a lot of actions that I would have taken, people I would have spent more time with, spent less time with, etc. I would definitely change the few red flags that I did see in a few situations. And honestly, how I reacted to some situations as well. I'm just to blame as much as other people are. I'm by no means saying I am perfect or anything, but there are definitely things that I would change on the program, but I wouldn't change the fact that I did the program. Roommate tea. You're very sweet but particular as a roommate. Yes, I like things tidy. I like things clean. If there are dishes in the sink, that bothers me. If there are fast food containers sitting in the sink for 2 weeks, that bothers me. If the garbage is overflowing so much you can't walk through the hallway, that bothers me. And I'm definitely the person in the room who's like, hey guys, remember to do your dishes. Unapologetically, I am that person, and it's part of my thing where I feel like for my life to be together, stuff needs to be clean, which we just talked about. But yeah, I guess I am particular as a roommate. YouTube was part of the reason you decided to do another DCP / get an annual pass. So, yes, but not in the way that you think. I did not go into my DCP doing YouTube because I wanted subscribers and I wanted to be famous, because you can't get famous on the DCP. I went into my DCP with YouTube as being another pro of doing the DCP because I loved doing YouTube. It's something that has made me happy. It's been a hobby of mine, and I was really excited to have the opportunity again to be able to film in the parks, because it's just something I love to be able to do. I find when you're filming, especially doing solo park days, you have such an amazing day versus not filming. That's just me personally, but I find I discovered new things. I've forced myself out of my comfort zone in a lot of cases. In some cases, I've tried new things, I've done new experiences just because I want to make a video on it, or I think that would be a cool video idea, something like that. And a lot of times it's turned out to be really fun. I have had a blast filming so many of my videos, and I think a lot of that shines through in the content of them. Shy at first, but actually super confident. No. Well, okay, so some people get a very shy feeling from me. Some people get a very intimidated feeling from me. I feel like I am definitely shy when I start talking to people, because I don't like opening up to people right away. I don't know what to say. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to make a bad impression. Sometimes, unfortunately, that comes back to bite me, because being shy and acting that way sometimes makes a bad impression, which is something I did experience. It's something that it's just the way I've always been, like always been straight up. I've never been one to just go up to people and be like, hello, I'm Brooke. As for confidence, I think a lot of my confidence, to be completely honest, is a situation where it's like fake it till you make it. I am confident in who I am as a person to an extent. I think I do have a good amount of self-confidence, but I also think that that does waver a little bit, and I like to think I have more self-confidence than I do in a lot of cases. Sometimes the way I portray that self-confidence comes off as cocky or intimidating, or even being fake. Looking back from the extremely insecure person that I used to be like 5-6 years ago, I have come a long way, and there's a lot of things that have shaped me to be this way, and I would not change who I am, because finally, after 22 years of my life, I'm finally starting to accept myself for who I am, and I'm not gonna let anyone stop me or pull me back from doing that. I think we're growing and learning every single day. It's just one of those things that I've struggled with my whole life, and sometimes I'm very confident, sometimes I'm not, and that's the truth. I get tall vibes, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Really love you, and your personality is so sweet. Thank you. I'm not tall. I'm like average. I'm 5'3", so I'm not tall. I learned how to pose tall in photos, and 99.9% of my life I'm wearing something with a platform or heel right down to my running shoes. My feelers have a huge chunk heel on them because I am short and I don't like being short, because I can't see over people's heads. So I'm pretty much always wearing something with a heel. In the winter, you will not catch me in boots without a heel on them. I don't even think I own boots without a heel on them. Booties in the fall, booties in the spring. The only time you'll really catch me without any sort of platform is in my Crocs. Okay, last question. Oh, is this gonna get me in trouble? You were mistreated on the DCEP by friends. Yes, but let me explain. So I was mistreated by people, but I didn't realize who was mistreating me until after the fact. Additionally, I was not mistreated by some people until after the fact, if that makes sense. And one situation which I've explained in videos prior, which is why I'm okay with talking about it again, is a situation where someone wanted to be my absolute best friend on the program. They were talking to me all the time. They had like obviously watched my videos and we hung out, and they seemed like a very nice and genuine person. They were an alumni, like they were really nice. And then after the program, it was revealed to me that on the previous year's program, someone who was roommates with this person said that this person was just like trash talking me like crazy the whole 2018 year. 2019, they were still trash talking me like crazy all behind my back. The only reason they were being friends with me was to get clout. And I didn't have clout. I still don't have clout, but at the time I didn't even have like 3,000 subscribers. Like, I was not good for clout. And I should have, in hindsight, there were a lot of red flags where I should have seen it that I didn't. Unfortunately, I'm definitely blind to a lot of things like that, but there was definitely a situation looking back where I was heavily used for the whole program by this person just so they could get clout. And looking back, yes, there are some other situations too that I just don't feel the need to get into at this point. So anyway, this has been your assumptions about me. I hope that you guys got to know me a little bit more. I feel like I was we got really deep there. Anyway, I hope you got to know me a little bit better, and yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Go check out my channel and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a magical rest of your day.